Hi there, this is Harry and welcome to the Advanced English Lesson Classes with Harry. So, what are we going to talk to you about today? Well, the lesson is going to cover vocabulary and it's going to look at vocabulary related to emotions. So, Advanced English Lesson Vocabulary Dealing with Emotions. At the end, I'm going to give you my address if you need to contact me or if you need to get some more examples. Okay, so Advanced English Lessons looking at emotions. Okay, so there's going to be a list of 14, so quite a lot. I'll give them to you, give you an example when you can use these. And as always, we're trying to help you to improve your English, your business English, your communication English, your conversational English with phrasal verbs, expressions, and vocabulary as we're going to look at now. Okay, so here's the list. Adoration, amazement, anger, disgust, ecstasy, it's very difficult to pronounce, ecstasy, fear, hate, homesickness, joy, loneliness, outrage, sadness, surprise, and finally, love, or as they say, love. Okay, so here's the 14 emotions. Okay, I'm going to go through them one by one and give you some examples. And just before we get on to those, if you really enjoy this lesson, then make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel because it really, really helps. Okay, let's get back to the lesson. So, adoration. So what is this? When we adore somebody, we treat them with adoration. We've got lots and lots of respect for the person. In fact, we love them so much. Yeah, we treat them with adoration, and that's the emotion. Okay, so the celebrations that are taking place in the UK to mark the Jubilee celebrations for the Queen, who's been on the throne of England for 70 years. She's been greeted with adoration from all the public. They absolutely love her. They want to congratulate her. They want to be part of the excitement. They want to be part of the festivities. So that's a real good example of adoration. Or the football team, when they've won the Champions League, they come back into the city. They parade around the city on the top of an open bus, showing off the trophy that they've won, waving to the fans, throwing scarves and jerseys, and they've got total adoration from the spectators, from the fans. Adoration. Amazement. Well, this is a particular type of emotion when we are really, really surprised. So we can be surprised, well, I got surprised by the party, but amazement by the reaction of somebody. So you look on in amazement when your son or daughter takes their first steps. It's a really interesting time. You've been expecting it for a while because they've been trying, and then suddenly when they get up and they make those first few steps, you go, oh my God, look. So complete amazement on your face and that of your partner. So as proud parents, you look on in amazement as your son or daughter staggers across the room and then plop, falls down on the bottom. Okay, amazement. Anger. Well, this is a real sad type of a emotion to have. We are angry when something happens that we didn't expect or didn't want to happen. Okay, we show and express anger by getting really annoyed, screaming or shouting, or getting very red in the face because you really are ready to explode. So you hear something on the radio, you see something on the internet that really gets your blood boiling, so you're full of anger. So this emotion, you're ready to burst, ready to explode, and you really want to go out in a forest and scream or kick a tree, whatever it happens to be. So you try to get rid of that anger, that feeling like the volcano ready to erupt. Okay? Disgust. Well, disgust is something emotion we use when we really don't like something. Okay? So it could be disgust when we smell something. It can be disgust when we taste something we really don't like. It can be disgust when we hear something that really goes against our views on life. So you go to a foreign country, you want to try the local delicacies, but when you put the food in your mouth, you go, oh my God, what was that? And you can't wait to spit it out because it just really, really tastes very bad, okay? So disgust. You can have that emotion of disgust when you smell something very strong. There's perhaps you're in the countryside and you're near a farm and you get that smell of manure that comes across the fields, and it's not really something so pleasant for you because you're not used to it. So it's a real, oh my God, that's a disgusting smell. So that's the emotion of disgust. Or you can have that emotion of disgust when you read some atrocity that's taken place somewhere far away and you wonder how people can be so cruel to each other, and you really read it with that sense of disgust. Ecstasy. So we have to be very careful how we pronounce this. Ecstasy. Okay, ecstasy is that emotion, that feeling that wells up inside us when we're really, really happy, very, very emotional. So we can be jumping up and down, waving our hands in the air, big smile on our face. We open the envelope and we realize that, yeah, we got those points that we needed. We got the place in the university. So you've got that feeling, that emotional sense of ecstasy. Nothing can be better. Or you open the envelope and they've offered you the job of your dreams, the job you'd really hoped for. So ecstasy. Or perhaps you open the envelope and a check falls out, which is the winning in the lotto, something you really didn't expect. That would certainly send me into ecstasy, and that would be the emotion that I would be feeling. So ecstasy. A feeling, that good, happy feeling that we would all like to get occasionally, just once in a while, once in a lifetime. Fear, well, that emotion when you're walking down the street and you see the dog coming towards you, and he's a big dog and you're not so sure whether he's friendly. He doesn't look so friendly. He's eyeing you. You're eyeing him. You're trying to walk around him without that smell of fear, but dogs have a great sense. They know when something's not so right. So he starts growling or barking and you stop dead in your tracks and you're frozen to the spot with fear until the owner comes out, calls the dog, and he disappears. So that feeling of fear, cold sweat breaks out over your forehead or down your back. Okay, so that feeling, the emotion of fear. Hate. It's a very strong emotion. Hate. We either love or hate something. Yeah. Oh, that's TV program on Netflix. Yeah. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And when you hate it, I just can't stand that. I don't want to watch it. No, I'm not going to watch it. I hate it. Or for some particular reason, we take a view that we don't like a particular actor or actress or sports player for some reason. Maybe we're a little bit jealous, maybe it's something they say, maybe they're a little bit arrogant, and we come out with very strong emotions. I hate him. I really don't like watching it when he's playing. No, I just hate it. Or perhaps it's a particular sport we don't like. I hate darts. It can't be considered as a sport at all. I mean, guys who just drink beer throwing darts into a board, how can that be a sport? So no, I really hate it. In my case, I hate computer games. I really, really don't like it. I never play them. I have never played them, and I don't really see how people enjoy it. So for me, it gets that emotional reaction of hate. Homesickness. Well, homesickness is something that we've all felt from time to time when we've been away from home for a considerable period. It could be that we are living in university in a city away from our home. Yeah, so for the first few weeks or months, we feel an element of homesickness. Yes, so homesickness is that feeling where you miss your friends, you miss your family, you miss the closeness, you miss the touch, you miss the chat, whatever it is. So this creates and generates this emotional reaction of homesickness. Usually when people, as I said, go away to university, or if you're sent away on a training program for several months, or many a time when somebody joins the military and they go off on maneuvers for the Navy or wherever, then there's a feeling of homesickness. I'm really going to enjoy this 2-year stint in Australia, but I'm sure I'm going to feel homesick from time to time. So a feeling, that emotion, homesickness. Joy, the emotion of joy. Well, the opposite of sad. So the feeling of joy when something good happens. The birth of your children is a feeling, an emotional reaction of joy. When summer finally arrives, or you're going to go on your holidays and the sun is shining, you get an emotional reaction of joy. So when something has happened, something that you didn't expect to be successful, even looking into your vegetable patch and seeing your first strawberries or your first tomatoes, that might give you a feeling of joy, an emotional reaction. So it's all about happiness. Loneliness, well, that's another emotional reaction, and loneliness, a bit like homesickness, is when you're on your own. And you can feel lonely without actually being alone, but loneliness is when you feel lost or abandoned. Your partner may have died, the children may have left home, you're in a foreign land, you're looking at the four walls every day, you're on your own a lot of the time. This is when these emotional reactions occur, the feeling of loneliness. You're not lonely as such. You can go out and you can meet some old friends, or you can meet somebody in the park, but there's a deep loneliness because the people you really love, the people that you really would want beside you, are not there. So that feeling of loneliness, the feeling of being lost in a big place. We can be very, very lonely and feel and have that emotional feeling of loneliness in a big city. It could be a city of 4 or 5 million people, but you can feel as lonely there as you would be in an open field. Loneliness. Outrage. Well, outrage is about being annoyed about something. Generally, it's about a group of people are outraged at perhaps the actions of their government. They're outraged that the government have done nothing about rising inflation. Every other country seems to be taking some action. They are reducing the cost of VAT, value-added tax, on fuel so that it's not so costly. They are reducing the cost of cooking oil, or they are fixing prices in the shops. Whatever they are doing, they're taking some action, but your government seems to be a little bit slow, and maybe they have some budget problems, so that people are outraged. So this is the anger building up inside. They are outraged. So the letters to the newspapers, the articles and blogs on the internet, the message getting through to the government ministers is that the population, the general populace, are outraged that the government has so far taken no action. So there are going to be demonstrations on the streets. People are going to be marching, holding placards, government out, costs down, inflation up, all these sort of messages to show their outrage, to demonstrate this particular emotion. Sadness. Well, sadness is another feeling, a bit like loneliness. We're sad because something has or hasn't happened. Sadness can creep up on us because of changes in our life, in our circumstances. The death of a pet will leave us with that emotional feeling of sadness. The loss of a job, the loss of a friendship. Something has been lost, something has gone, something has changed, and we cannot get it back. So there's a feeling, a general feeling of sadness. We can just read on world events, and that can make us feel sad, that we are a little bit blue. So we have a blue feeling because the news generally is not so good, is not great, and we are left with this emotional feeling of sadness. We are sitting there not quite sure how we will react, but our face, our body language suggests a sign of sadness. A little bit down in the dumps, not feeling so good. Surprise, well, a bit like amazement, not as high a feeling as amazement, but surprise can come to all of us. We can get a surprise because we get that phone call from our kids that they're going to pop round. You haven't seen them for a while. You get a surprise on your birthday when the postman delivers a card that you hadn't expected to get. You get that email, that WhatsApp message wishing you a happy birthday. These are all times when you'll get that feeling of surprise, something unexpected, something that makes you feel happy, something that can give you that feeling of joy. So surprise. Oh, really? Wow, great. Oh, you're coming over tonight. Great. I look forward to seeing you. So surprise in your voice, surprise when you open the door and see the postman standing there with a package that you hadn't expected and you can't wait to open it to see what the gift is. Surprise. And then finally, love. Now, there is a difference between like and love. Like is something that we feel comfortable with. We like a friend. We like a particular food. We like to spend time on our own. Love is much deeper. It's a much deeper emotional feeling. We love our best friend. We love our partner. We love our family, we hope. We love our pets. We love our favorite food, and we can't wait to get to the restaurant to order that special pizza you had the last time. Oh, I really love it. So it's a real deep feeling, make you feel really happy and really, really satisfied. Okay, so love, as they say, it makes the world go round. Okay, so let's go through those again. So 14, and they're all about emotions. Adoration, amazement, anger, disgust, ecstasy. Be careful with the pronunciation. Ecstasy. Fear, hate, homesickness, joy, loneliness, outrage, sadness, surprise, and finally, love. Okay, so 14 particular words, vocabulary, dealing with emotions. So that's the advanced English lesson for today. Thanks very much for joining me. If you want to contact me, well, you can do so on www.englishlessonviaskype.com. Very happy to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. This is Harry saying goodbye.